me, although I was at her fire department and.
Oh, yeah, well, that's.
That was, oh my God. What
It's like you don't want.
And I used to call the other.
You had better luck with it than I did.
She your cousin?
It's funny because
I was surprised.
my other cousin, that's saying,
Down to 16, and Central.
son is a doctor.
Oh, really?
Delegate, yeah.
And she goes, he's an intramural and throat guy, he does.
For Central, last name, they wrote the rules at the last minute.
Weaver is her second.
It's an inside job.
Yeah.
And it's a couple of.
All right, 7:30, call the meeting to order. Do the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Do roll call.
Frank Lister.
Here.
William Swanson.
Yep.
Robert Del Sardo. Rita Carlson. Here. Kathy Abate. Here. Okay.
Thank you.
All here.
Approve the minutes for February 2nd, 2012. Have a motion to approve. If there's no adds or deletions. Everybody okay with the minutes?
I'm fine, I make a motion to accept the minutes.
I'll
As
second.
presented.
I'll second.
All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Nays? The ayes have it. Motion carries. Thank you. Public comment? Go ahead.
Relative to the annual township meeting agenda, we'd like to put a resolution on it this year. What's the procedure?
You know, I think, didn't the resolution have to be in by...
March 1st.
March 1st? Is that rule published anywhere?
I have no idea. I know the rule is March 1st. I can show it to you in our magazine.
Is that where you published it?
Pardon me?
Is that where you published this rule?
This is state statute now.
No, it's not our rule.
It's not our rule. It's all over the state that way.
Is it published anywhere in any document of the township?
Not that I know of.
Well, I don't know the answer to that question.
I don't either. But it's statute.
Probably is. Do you know how?
We probably refer to it, but the point is that they changed it a year or so ago in Springfield to make it uniform by changing it to a statutory time frame. I don't frankly have the statute in front of me, but the whole purpose was for uniformity so that so that everybody in the state would have the same options.
Does the statute have a number?
I said I don't have it on me.
Can that number be provided?
Well,
I can get it.
we'll probably have it in one of our township manuals that come from township officials.
And you say the deadline is March 1?
That's what she said, but I don't.
Today is March 1.
Okay.
So still a few hours stuck to the March 1.
I don't have the statute in front of me. I'm not going to try
And
to make a
that's
decision.
March
for it.
1, and we're on European time. So it's gone.
Well, we'd be interested to see what the statute says.
You certainly asked an interesting question.
Yeah.
No,
We know you wanted in writing. Past years you had a cutoff date.
We used to have an internal rule that we followed. We are following the state statute.
All right. Well, then state statute I would submit ought to be publicized.
Well, it is online. Actually, you could go online and get it. By probably Googling Illinois state statute, annual town meeting.
Exactly. It's available.
It's supposed to be a public document. It is a public document. And Google is going to have it.
So it's up to the citizens of the township to know what the statutes are that you're operating on.
Just like every other law of the land, we're subject to supposedly knowing them.
Well, yes, we are. People go to school and become lawyers here.
Well, not that. I mean to say I'm supposed to understand that traffic is, I can't turn on right if I'm in the left lane over here because the statute says that, because I'm put on notice that that's the law.
Jesse White sends you a little book that says don't turn on red lights. There should be a little book from the township that says that's a cutoff date.
Well, I'm sure that they'll take that under advisement.
I think you have to go to get the book, I don't think they send it to you anymore.
I think Chris's point is that if someone wants to submit a resolution, this is the most basic ground level of government. And it would be.
Nobody here is going to tell you different. We're not in the business of doing that. As you know, this is a fairly transparent organization, and we're just following the book if we can. And if we don't, we will try to make sure we do the next time so that we can follow the book. That's what we want to do.
On page 28 of the township perspective for this month, the first paragraph. For annual meetings, the law requires that the township board adopt an agenda at least 10 days before the meeting. Voters may request an agenda item for consideration.
Daily Herald.
No, I think Robert's answering the question. Go ahead, Bob.
Voters may request an agenda item for consideration by giving written notice of a specific request to the township clerk no later than March 1st before the annual meeting. Items not on the published agenda may not be considered or added to the agenda at the meeting.
Okay, so that answers my question that do you have published this rule?
No, Chris.
I have no idea other than what I just read to you.
We don't get the perspective. We have no access to the perspective in the library. Now,
Well, we just got
Diane-
this today.
Yeah, well, it helps a lot, right. Diane is giving us an article from the Daily Herald, which apparently talks about it also. Unfortunately, the Daily Herald refuses to deliver where we both live, and I don't read that on a regular basis.
Well, today is March 1.
Yeah, we got that offline.
All right, today is March 1, agreed?
Mm-hmm.
Today is the deadline. We're still within the deadline. March 1 is not passed. It was March 2nd. It would be inappropriate to make this request. Would you entertain a written request for our resolution on March 1?
What is the resolution?
We're going to resolve that based on the shortened workload of the trustees should not be paid in the next term. We can put it in writing.
Do you have it waiting for me?
Well, we can write it right now. Or if you would accept the draft outline, we could have proper language delivered to you at a later date.
Mr. Lanchi, I'll defer to you.
Well, I'm not going to try to make a ruling on the date or the time, but if you handwrite a message to the clerk and present it to her today, I'll certainly support the fact that you presented
In writing.
a resolution.
And you would give us a reasonable amount of time to clean up the language to make it proper for the presentation.
Well, that's
I don't know if that's
the
appropriate.
clerk's,
If what you want to ask, you should probably make it clear at your first attempt.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, it's a small resolution.
Okay. That's the end of my question.
Any other public comment? All right. Correspondence, Dan?
No, I don't have anything.
You all had a chance to review the invoices. Any questions? Discussion, Lisa? Now, do you have a motion to approve the invoices?
I'll make a motion to approve the invoices.
Second. Those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, nay? Ayes have it. Motion carries. All right, everyone was given the agenda for the town hall meeting.
Do you have one?
Any changes?
I don't have
I don't.
it. I emailed it to you. I've got copies over here.
I got an additional for
I have
the
one here.
agenda.
Yeah, the annual town meeting agenda, you should have gotten in the email, they all three went out at the same time.
Yeah,
Well, I
this
don't
is-
have it.
Okay.
Mark White.
I got a revised agenda.
A couple, Diane, I think.
You got one? You got one?
I did get one. I'm ready to go look at it. The next one.
Kathy, you get it? Yes, I do.
We approved this, it's not gonna have that resolution on it.
But I'll add, we can add the resolution,
All right.
add it.
If it's appropriately submitted, it'll be added.
If it is appropriate.
Right.
It doesn't sound to me like, well, there's,
You know, my point is, let me be clear. I don't have the statute in front of me, I don't want to try to read it out of thin air. There's people here that are hoping that it's going to say that by the end of midnight on March 1st, that any resolutions are submitted. That may very well be the case. It may say by the day prior to March 1st in the statute. If that's the case, then yesterday was the last day for this, whatever the statute says, I'll try to make sure it's right.
Thanks. Good enough for me. The agenda for annual town meeting, do you have a motion to approve? Or any discussion? Questions?
We're approving this with the caveat that there may be an addition.
Right.
From Mr. English. Okay. I make a motion to accept the agenda with the stipulation that it can be added to at a later date.
Not a later date, a specific.
By presentation of a resolution today.
Later in the due date.
Whatever.
Right.
I make that motion.
Second.
I'll second it.
All those in favor of approving the annual town meeting agenda?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you.
Okay. We have edit.
And if she changes something, do you have to approve it?
You give us March 1, we'll do the findings. If you agree on or printing.
Next item on the agenda is dial-a-ride. Chris, you wanna?
If you got all the papers, Joan did a wonderful job on this. She's got a complete for the year-end cap for, you know, like all the rides and the cost. Bottom line, we gave more rides and it cost the township less, which was a wonderful addition. It cost the township around $19,000 total for dollar ride last year for 11. We're hoping for about the same, they gave us about the same, but mainly because we've got a grant they issued and they gave us a reduction of cost. It's going well. The dollar ride's going pretty well. So you can see there the breakdown per month, the rides. You see the sheet, she's got them all color coded. Joan puts a lot of work into this, I give her a lot of credit. So it gives you a breakdown from this, you know, this past year, this is on a calendar year, by the way. So, our contract. It gives you 10 and 11. And it tells you how many registrations she had. RTA is just mainly, not us, it's just that they have an RTA, they have to have an RTA card to use our dial ride service. Okay? So it kind of gives you an idea how many registered for the RTA compared to what did the total on the green sheet for the dial ride registration. Okay? All in all, it's going really, really well. Joan keeps an extensive database per person on all the dial ride stuff, so. Do you have any questions about it? I mean, I think it's going well, considering, you know, and the prices come down.
Now, we've carried more people for less money.
Yes. This past year, 11, we did 3,953. 10, we did 3,773. But it cost us a little bit more in 10 than it did in 11. So, which is nice, so it's come down in price a little bit. Plus, it's the $5 ride, you know, the cost, it helps, you know, decrease the cost.
Yeah, remember, we increased it.
Right, remember? Yeah,
If you look on the statistics,
the yellow pages.
yellow page, you can see the fares were $19,715. And that's from Pace. And then township share, we paid $19,298, so it's split about 50-50, which is good.
Not as
As
fair
Chris
as
said,
it
it was,
gets, yeah.
it's less than what we paid in the past. And that's due to the increase that was proposed.
Partially because of the $5 ride, and then also, there was a little bit of, remember there was a call center grant they gave us too, a little bit of reduction? So,
Yeah, there was a reduction from Pace also. So.
right.
Now, as interesting as important as this service is, if we didn't supply this, there would be no other organization that would do it?
There's other things like taxi cab service,
Yeah.
but it's a lot more costly.
And those are almost by village
Yes.
separately.
Well, let me
Sure.
say something about that. Downers Grove cut that and increased the cost. Westmont stopped it, so that service is different for each municipality.
Yeah. I think Willowbrook, I'm not sure, but I think they have some sort of ticket situation
That's what Darien
to
does.
use for a cab.
really? Okay.
Darien has,
Well, you have to buy tickets from the villages out of Grove,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, you have to prepay them, you know what I mean?
Right.
And you get like coupons, like, you know what I mean, so,
I think it's a locale.
and it's 50, yeah, it's,
Certain locales.
right,
But it's nice in a way because you can go any place.
in the township with it, with the
No,
dollar.
with the cab.
Oh, the cab, yeah, but it's
We
what costs.
pay half,
Mhm.
you know, it's
They
half.
pay half the fare.
Right.
If for the village, okay. Okay,
So you got choices.
yeah,
Question.
sure.
I mean, it's not a big deal, but why do they separate medical from dialysis? It seems to me they're both.
It's listed that way from Pace.
Uh-huh.
That's how it's recorded even off of Pace.
Why do they
We get
keep
the
track of that
printout.
difference out?
Maybe a situation where one cab takes two people.
Or
From
medical.
dialysis.
Well, you're allowed, with that ride, you're allowed to have a companion come with you for the same price.
Medicare is, I mean,
Don't know the
medical
answer to
is.
that.
They don't have to be registered,
And then
you
two
know.
patients instead of.
Doctor does it for medical.
But that's how Pace
Can you
lists it,
find
you
out
get a
the
printout
answer
for
to that
them of all
before March
different
first
things.
is over?
Overall, I think it's a great service.
Well, it's a good service, it's costing us less, we're hauling more people.
Careless.
Can't
And they're
really
happy,
put-
they go for their haircuts and their, all different
No,
things.
it's
you know what I mean?
just
So,
I mean, there's no basis for any sort of complaint at all.
I think it's holding itself pretty well. It's good, you know, and it's costing a little bit less for the township.
In
so.
this day and age, everything going up, it's marvelous.
Yeah. Isn't that true? So everybody's happy, that's the nice thing.
That's good.
Yeah.
thank you, Chris.
You're welcome. There's a lot of stuff in there you can read, but it's.
Get somebody to drive me there, Jen.
Budget discussion? Any questions?
Which one we doing first?
You know, Andy, you want to do yours first? Sure. All right. Any questions for the highway commissioner?
Well, Andy, I went back and got 2011 road district. And your total expenditures for last year were $2,553,000. And your total expenditures this year, for this proposed budget, is $2,340,000. So if these figures are correct, you're doing the same job with less money.
Yeah, we had less going into this year, estimated less going into this year.
So you're still doing the same job
Yeah.
for $200,000 more, which I think is a tribute to to your administration and find that, again, as costs rising in every section, you're able to do that and still provide the same service. I hope the township residents appreciate that. Do you anticipate any changes in this?
We've got a little extra salt this year. And we're hoping that gas prices don't go up too much. It'll probably balance out. We're not gonna have to buy, hopefully as much salt next year as this year.
Well, your budget is really a balancing act. You don't know how many terrible storms we're gonna have in the spring or flooding or whatever, so you're really budgeting in a kind of a bubble.
Yep.
And so far, this is, I've tried to go through line by line and I found it wasn't really necessary. I just concentrated on this main figure, so. Anyway, my congratulations if you're able to do it. And you're even planning a new truck?
A new truck, replacement for our pickup and a tractor if we can. Very good.
That's quite a,
A lot of it that helps out too, we go with the state bid on the tractor and the truck. And that saves us about 18%.
yeah, I meant to ask at one of the meetings, do you get pretty good trade-ins on your vehicles?
The average truck, between 20 and 23,000.
And the new ones are about 80?
Well, the new ones, without the trade-in are like 115. The new one's 115 this year. It's actually $2,000 less than last year. It's the cabin chassis. Now the body or the box plow and that's gone up a little bit, so it's just about the same.
Because Navistar has an incredible marketing program to the state of Illinois. Almost every municipality gets involved in it.
Yeah, it's a good thing. They make a good truck, and we keep them about 9-10 years and trade them in.
Yeah. Anyway, those are my comments. I think it's a wonderful presentation. I wish we could do that on all of the departments.
I agree.
How much control did you have over the weather?
100%.
Hey.
Yeah.
Could you do that every year?
No. Tommy Skilling said that it's very unusual to get 5 winters in a row that are really bad, so we got lucky on this one.
Well, I think the term would be exceptionally lucky.
Exceptionally.
You've got to have salt pouring out of that.
Yeah, we've only purchased half our usual amount.
Savings.
I always know when Willowbrook has extra salt because instead of just salting the first 150 feet in front of the intersection, they do the whole street.
I've been watching you guys for 3.5 years now. I see what they're doing. I see that it's, it's an internal control on your expenditures. But in my experience, my feelings are that you're no different than a school board member in their responsibilities. And they serve for the benefit of the public without.
Yeah, I don't think you see the whole picture. I don't think you see what they do when they're not at the meetings. It's not just meeting attendance that they're getting paid for. They do a lot of work out in the communities. They do a lot of work for the township. So, but anyway, you have a right to your opinion, of course.
I don't think that's very different from school board members.
Of course it is.
All school board members.
School board members are totally different. We've got 54 square miles to take care of. How much? What's the school board district? 99, 58.
What's the budget? What's the budget of District 99 compared to your budget? And the school board members also are on endless committees. I mean, they're working all the time, but they don't draw salary.
I'll take your word for it. I don't have the slightest idea what they do.
That's a lot.
May I ask you a question, and I apologize, I should have asked it at the last meeting, but you sat down kind of quickly from the podium, so I let it go. You were concerned about the trustees somehow being involved in the IMRF.
Yeah.
What was the reasoning for that?
Oh, some of us were having a discussion, and we could check out all the documents that we've collected through the years and answer that ourselves, but I was here, so I thought it'd be easier just to ask him, Frank, to give the answer. We know that, okay, we would have known that you guys are not on the market.
Well, if we would have been on it,
Jeez, God, I'm glad there was nothing in there.
how should I say this? Would you think it would have been inappropriate?
There's some people that would say that, yeah.
Because as an elected official, you're here today and gone tomorrow to a certain extent, so I'm sure, I don't know their pension rules, they probably have vested rights, so
Yeah.
you would almost have to be a permanent trustee to a certain extent to get involved in a pension.
Let's just say in this county, people have a habit of being permanent.
Well,
This county?
but they also have to pay into
Only
it.
this county?
Anyway, thanks.
Yeah.
I was just curious.
DuPage County is not worth worrying about.